Quality versus finances. Some of us as artists were going for quality. I wanted to sing on good sound, I wanted to perform well, but the promoter had to limit the expense and then provide substandard equipment so that he can save and take away a lot of money, profits. So for me, my brand as an artist was dying. So I decided I have to invest money in the concert instead of collecting money from a concert just to build the brand.
So you're not looking at profit for you, you're looking at the brand first.
There's a different way I was looking at the profit. I was looking at it brand-wise. Because then I would use the big brand to get the money. The biggest mistakes that artists do is they want to make money out of music. It is impossible in a 45 million country, it's impossible here. So, but then it is easy and possible to make money from a brand in even a country of 20 or 15 million people.
Bebe, you want to say the concerts that you did at Kampala Serena Hotel, the several concerts, the tables were, I think, 5 million?
Yes.
And your tables were usually sold out?
Yes.
You're saying you never made money from those concerts?
I didn't make profits from Serena because I delivered quality, because I had to bring in the likes of Steve Jim with the highest level of quality in production. So if you make 280 million and then Steve takes 190 or 200, then what about the venue? What about the rehearsal period of 6 months? What about the band? So at the end of the day, that's why my brand was leaning on what people expect Bebe Cool to present rather than how much Bebe Cool had in the pocket. So the conflict of interest is, are you looking for money or you're looking for a brand?
Okay, so do you want, you guys are pushing out the promoters. A promoter is looking for a meal. The artist is looking for a meal. How do we coexist, Isaac?
I think the promoters are pushing themselves out. Because if you're good at what you do, people are going to come to you. People will come to you, it doesn't matter. Tulina very mediocre
promoters. Yeah, but they have to upgrade.
Exactly. You can see growth.
Yes.
When you look at Steve 15 years ago and look at him today, the guy has grown. You know, promoter with 2006 we did not have a PA that can do Nambole, but for them they were doing it.
Because this is a very deep topic and there are so many other issues around music concerts that I want us to tackle. Let's fast forward to the issue we have right now. During the battle of Cindy and Sheba, we saw a new key player, Victoria University, come into the field of events. And everybody was asking, University, ejirawa mubivuru. So if we have people like universities coming, you will have somebody from the UPDF, my side hustle, you will have an agency, Lockdown Next Media was organizing e-concerts. Still, we are pushing out the promoter.
Disruptive innovations.
I think one thing we have to understand is labeling ourselves promoter. This one is this.
Promoter.
Yes, I'll be promoting my own brand.
The difference
is only Mulimugwe.
Auntie, the difference is,
yeah,
Mulimuba key players that come, like Bebe said, that their main goal is not the profit, it's the brand.
Yeah.
Kati we abisana no brand, now anonya send. You do not inject in the same amount of money.
Douglas, let me tell you something. Let us stop looking at these things on a small scale. Let us look at them on a wider scale. The more players come into the night economy grows bigger. Let's look at it in terms of the economy. So if the uni closes at 6 o'clock and then it has an event after 7 in the night, Uganda is one of the most fast developing countries today, and one of the main reasons is open market. Okay, people choose what to do, when to do. So the more people we get working at night, the better for the night economy.
Before we started this, Madam Jogani Salvador, number unveil we made a weight of anything that next media is unveiling. Katigwe Salvador who doesn't have money. Because the budget of this is equal to somehow a percentage Zotekam concert. See the LED screens, invites, drinks, BG, the experience, Ostegedi. Katigo waka mkamwa sonda. How are you going to survive in this business?
Listen,
competing against.
That is where our biggest problem is. Competing. This is an unveiling. Why are you competing to unveil? There is no need for you to compete. Do what you can. Do what you can. I have unveiled a show. The first show I did, the show before we did COVID, before we went into COVID, in 2020, when I did Kololo Airstrip. My budget was 3 million Ugandan shillings.
3 million?
3 million.
To do a show?
To unveil.
Yeah, to unveil.
That was the press conference. 3 million. From that 3 million, I paid journalists, Nemba Nywesa, Nemba Lisa, decoration in Ganayokuchi, Kweri. Leave alone that. I did things within my means, but I did quality things within my means. I didn't have an LED screen. Naina backdrop. I didn't do my unveiling in the night. During the day. You understand? You also have to be smart. So how can I compete with a big entity?
So wait.
Like next media. Because I want to show off.
When you say you live within your means or you do whatever in your
within
means.
Your means, yes.
Here is another case study. David Lutalo was at Lugogo Cricket Oval recently. The messages that popped out after people seeing his stage, they were like, David, ye kwata, ali greedy, acha tera uka stage akatini, because they had seen a big stage at the Cindy Shiba battle. So they expected a David Lutalo to do something of that magnitude. Na actually at a play amlale ya chikola Victoria University, probably they were looking for the brand that Bebe wakolachi wagamba. So Lutalo is competing against Oreo Muntu. How do you balance that?
The thing I say, live within your means, but provide quality.
JJ Sounds had the quality. People just complained about the size of the stage.
Douglas, I think there's a conflict of interest again. It depends on all artists are different, and their fans that follow them are different. Oyinza, I'm very sure I'm a fan of David. If Steve Jean you are producing David Lutalo, you must be very careful with that issue, because Steve is going to come. Steve is going to put too much sound, too much screens, too much lights. Steve is going to come up with costumes that look, totally American. But then David's fans may be coming from a different direction.
But they also love good things.
What is happening in this industry today is what we have prayed for such a long time.
Okay.
We are growing and growing and growing. It began like a Bebe Cool at Serena. I remember everyone was like, Serena is only for Jazz Safari. Okay? So Bebe took, and I remember Jazz Safari used to charge 3 million. And then I told these guys, you know what? Why do I go for 10,000 people paying 10K in a field? Yet I can go for 2,000 people, 50 tables, each table paying 5 million. So it came from a calculation. Then it also showed me that from the indoor, I can control sound, I don't have issues of weather, and then I can control light. So my production is now going to be super. So there were issues, but then even those issues have taught us as time goes by that, you know what, we can even go and build domes. Now from domes, we've seen guys are going back to the open fields. Spice Dana does her thing, and then from Spice, here we go for the battle where the stage is massive, and now wait for the next. So that's how an industry grows.
Develops. Okay, let me go to Isaac. We love the development. Big stage. In fact, I think I want to give thanks to Spice. Stage Giacola ku Cricket Oval. It caused a lot of talkability. And I think when we went to the battle of Cindy and Shiba, whoever was behind the production, Kadanke, was like, no, I need to disprove that.
Exactly.
Chitegeza nanaddako, and that's why I think the conversation here, David Rutalo,
Yes.
I'm faulting because they expected something equally big. But the challenge is, much as we want the development, the ticket price is still the same. Okay, na kuchivulu, chichari cha meka, mutwalo. Mutwalo go, you have production, you have advertisement, you have to pay the artists, you have all these expenses. When you high kick and put it at 20, people don't turn up. Njakudai wa Bebe try to get a conversation near pricing, near concerts. But how do we make sure we are developing but not running bankrupt?
Let me say something about this. We are not, and I'm sure most promoters will agree with me, we do not make money at the gate anymore. Those days are gone with Lucky Dube and Umcharawa Wanchekecha.
Saida Kalori.
Yeah, they made bags of money. They made money.
So no one
Today-
goes home.
today-
Nasoloza sente kugeti. No daye waka.
Today, if you do an event and you have no sponsor, there's no way you're going to make money at the gate. Not today.
Why?
5 years ago.
Why is it that URA doesn't understand what you're saying?
No, they will, because they don't know.
But you know they don't understand what
They
you're trying to
don't
say.
know. You know, they come to our concerts. One time I had like 30 or 40 people. And I guess it's because of the artist was, I'm too old. I forget.
We
2014.
understand. Just
Yeah.
continue.
Billion check. It was billion check.
Salva, don't you?
It's not government. The problem is you, Douglas, knowing everything about taxes when it comes to your art. Okay? Do you know, Douglas, that people do not know that when they pay taxes, they can get their tax returns at a certain time from URA? Do you know that there's a word called tax returns? What are tax returns? Do you know that if you import a car and you've been paying taxes, you can... Ati kati owetaaga okutegeeramu ebintu ebimu. Then secondly, bw'oba ogenda, if you're going to organize an event, better straightforward, okay? Bikula ebintu byo openly. Problem gye tubeera nayo, we already know we are going into losses ate ne twekweka. URA ogiraba, osobola ogidde ojinga bulungi nga tosasudde n'ekikumi n'obalekera n'obutabo bw'obanga birambu naye nammwe mutandika mu kudduka.
Let me say something about taxes and events and everything. Our biggest problem and the biggest challenge is ignorance.
Exactly.
Ignorance from URA about events, ignorance from artists about
taxes.
what they should tax.
Exactly.
For example, I organize my own shows, not as Salvador, but as a company called Salfin Productions. That company, every year we file returns, but we do one show in a year.
Exactly.
That is the year where we get money to pay tax, to pay salaries for the whole year for my employees. You understand? And they file income tax.
Yes.
They file income tax. So where does URA expect me to be able to pay my employees when I do it? One time they came to me and they said, Salvador, did you pay tax? I sat down with the guys and I asked, which tax?
Salvador.
They said VAT. I said, VAT on what? I realized they were as ignorant about my events as I was about them.
Before you even continue, there's even a minimum that says if your company does not make up to beyond 50 million, then you are not supposed to pay certain taxes.
That is VAT.
Okay, that's VAT. First, when you take off VAT, then that means you've minimized your problem against URA.
Let's leave this taxation thing. Kubanga chochi wangu.
But Douglas, before you leave,
Yes.
can you mention to artists? Are you talking about artists organizing as artists or their companies organizing? Because when you hear Bebe Cool organizing, it's not actually Bebe Cool organizing.
Gargamel.
It has always been Gargamel. But I had to go and register Gargamel. That is 22 years ago. So I have been operating as a company, not as Bebe.
Okay. If you've just joined TV right now, you're wondering what show is this? What are they talking about? Who are these guys? Okay, it's very simple, yeah? We are unveiling the next big thing in exactly 44 minutes, 55 seconds. What is the next big thing? That you're going to find out when that clock reaches 0000. Okitegedde?